welcome. Much love. How you feeling today? So if you have the time to spend a little bit with me, I invite you to maybe grab something to sip on. Maybe water, maybe tea, whatever you'd like. Find your space, a comfortable space to be in. As we're going to do a little bit of reading, talking about breath and spirit out of one of Queen Afua's books. And we're going to go through a couple of breathing exercises. So just would like to, kind of ground. It's interesting. Oftentimes we need to remind ourselves to be grounded within ourselves, to be rooted, to remember to be rooted, to release. I need this for myself right now, so I figure if I need it, there's somebody in the world that might need this too, to remember breath. Breath in Spanish, or to breathe, is respirar. The root of respirar, say it with me, roll your R's, respirar. Like respiration, right? So English is connected to Spanish, which is, these languages are connected. They're, they have been colonized in such a way. They're part of what are known as the Romance languages, that are based in Latin. So there are going to be some words in there that are some roots of the words that have relationships. So breath is respirar in Spanish, which is connected to our respiratory system. And the root of respirar is a spirit, espíritu. So breath and spirit are one, like breath of life, right? If we don't have the breath of life, if we don't have breath, we do not have life. And breath is something that is so interesting because it is a voluntary and an involuntary experience. So breath is involuntary. Like if you're alive, you are breathing whether you choose to or not, whether it's shallow or deep, right? You are breathing once you're alive, right? But now that's the involuntary part of it. But now the voluntary part of it is where we are empowered to direct the breath, to guide the breath, to be full within our breath, to be grounded within our breath, to also release what we need to release through the breath. Now, today was a kind of interesting day for me, and I'm going to tell y'all something that that you don't hear mothers of toddlers share, because it's a little embarrassing, right? So I'm just going to share my toddler, Jabari. He's a little over 2 now. He was having a little time in the bath earlier this morning, late morning, a little bubble bath and everything after breakfast and all. And it was my bad that I didn't sit. I'm not even going to get into that part right now, but I made a mistake. I didn't do what I was supposed to do before I sent him in that bath. And he there having a nice time, and they had this look on his face. Now, those that have young children, that have potty trained their children, know there's a look when that child, and I know I'm going off topic, but listen, just bear with me, please. That look, right? I was like, oh, you got to use the potty? And I looked, the potty was not in the bathroom. I had to run, get the potty, run back. And when I come back into the bathroom, and I moved, he had this face, this look on his face. I kind of moved the bubbles away. Let me tell you, that boy did the do in the bathtub. Now, tell me, okay, have you been there, number one, if you're a parent? And I mean, so mother's job is never done. I had to do what I had to do. I scooped the boy up, sit him on the potty, and little punishment. I had to sit him there until I cleaned up the mess. I had to clean up the mess, had to drain the tub, had to scrub the tub down, do all of that, and then give him a bath, right? So I was like, oh, this is not what I wanted for my morning. This is not how this day's supposed to go. And I've been a little tight. So it was my bad because I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I didn't sit him on the potty to move his bowels before, we got into the tub. I figured he was okay for a little bit. Anyway, I needed to get back into my breath to ground myself because I was like, this cannot jack up my day. All right. I mean, who enjoys cleaning up shit? Excuse me. You know, we got to do it, but whatever. So, why I share that with you is because, Dad, you know, sometimes we go through stuff. Sometimes we go through shit, pardon my language. Sometimes we got to clean up our messes, and sometimes we got to clean up somebody else's mess in our family, our little ones, or what have you. Sometimes we got to clean up a mess, and having to do that dirty work really could vex you sometimes, you know, can get you in a place where you ain't moving right. And so when we have to deal with the mess, right, we have to, and the mess can be anything. Like, what is a mess to you, right? This morning was cleaning up my toddler's crap in the bathtub. That was my physical mess. What is a mess for you? Sometimes it's a messy relationship. Sometimes it's a bad decision, right? What is your mess? Have you had to clean up your mess? Sometimes it's living with resentment, with guilt. You know, sometimes it's you know, eating the wrong thing. Sometimes it's eating the wrong thing and dealing with the whole digestive mess that's going on in your belly and the sluggishness, you know, that's going on through your mind, right? What is your mess and what does that look like? Those that really hit home deeply involve our relationship to self and our relationship to others. And when we get caught up in these messes, we have to remember to release, you know, the negative energy that's associated with that mess, right? And we have to also remember to ground ourselves, to look and be in a better space, to move in a lighter way, with a lighter heart, with a freer mind. Even the body, you know, can show up differently when we are able to release the mess. I've had to deal with messy relationships, you know, the aftermaths of a messy relationship in the past, you know. Even sometimes when I don't discipline my children properly, I have to deal with that mess, my internal mess, you know, and the mess I got to clean up to make sure they're good, right? There's so many different kind of messes we experience. So now, in recognizing that there has to be a release of the mess, right, a cleanup of the mess, and then a grounding within the self to look again and to move forward again in strength and light and in clarity, right, I would love to remind you that returning to the breath, returning to essence, and that essence is spirit, right? Espiritu. When we have to clean up the mess, right, of our lives, of our decisions, of our relationships, or what have you, and we have to return to be grounded, we have to return to the breath, or I strongly advise and suggest and encourage you to return to the breath, to return to spirit, because that's where there is clarity, where there is infinite abundance, where there is infinite potential, where there is ability to see and to be and really come into your fullness. Respirar, right? Say it with me again if you were here from the beginning. Respirar, la respiración, the breath, the spirit. So before we go into breathing exercises, I'd like to read something to you out of Queen Afua's Sacred Woman. She's been doing the work of healing within the community for 30 plus years. So a guide to healing the feminine body, mind, and spirit. One of the reasons why I came to this book is because I'm right now in this energy of just honing that feminine and the healer, right? The mother, the healer, the wife, the healer, the sister, the healer, me, the healer, right? And so I came to this portion of this book. So I just want to read a little bit of it, and then we're going to get into the breathing exercises because I feel like it's good to be grounded in information. Breath and spirit are one. Queen Afua says, our elder, our sister says, to do your inner work and to be fully alive, breath must be supreme, for the creator and the breath are one. If you have breathing problems and blockages, you have spiritual problems and blockages. Mend the breath and you heal the spirit, that oneness, that connection. Increase your breathing capacity and you increase the quality of your life. This is why I want to read it first. The theory is in the writing, the reading. Here we go. Breath is life. Without breath, there is death, as I mentioned earlier. All your activities should include attention to the breath. Your food must contain breath, so your foods must be of the highest quality, live, organic, whole grains, uncooked fruits and vegetables. Talking about live enzymes in the food, high quality food, breath in food. Cooked food, fast foods, and all flesh foods lack breath. These foods put the body temple into a death like state. There must also be breathing space in all your relationships. They should have free flowing light and air and room for true communication. Otherwise, toxic associations can lead you to a premature death. Your home must be clean and pure, with oxygen flowing through to support your life force. Inhale and exhale deeply when conducting all your affairs and in all your circumstances. In this way, you will be filled with breath, with life. The breath must flow smoothly between the inhalation and exhalation. Your breath is crucial. The more conscious you become of your breath, the more you feel the presence of the Creator dwelling within you. So before, during, and after meditation and prayer, keep your breath deep, quiet, even. If you notice that your breath becomes shallow and uneven when you're around certain people, watch this, check this out now. If you notice that your breath becomes shallow and uneven when you're around certain people, it may be due to a lack of communication between them and you. Or it may be due to their inner negativity or your own. It is best to discontinue your association with them until you are fully empowered with a lifestyle that supports the free flow of oxygen to your spirit, despite the negativity around you. So sometimes we need to detach ourselves from environments, from people, from spaces where we feel that tightness, right? That we can't breathe, right? For whatever the reason is, whether you're dealing with something, they're dealing with something, allow there to be space. That is the breath until you come into your rightful self to deal with them and you in this space of free flowing communication, releasing toxic relationships. Okay. Once your breath life is strong, you will be able to balance out your interactions with all and every association. For breath is life and peace. One of the things, like I mentioned earlier, is, having to clean up that mess, right? We can do so with the breath, right? And returning to spirit, returning to breath. And likewise within those relationships, within our relationships with self and with others. Allow space to be breath. If one considers the universe is constantly in motion, is constantly breathing, there is space, right? Within, like, breath creates that space. It creates that space all around us, within us, between us. So I would like us to spend a little time with the breath. Now, if you are in a space that you can practice with me, I encourage you to find a comfortable seat. It could be in a chair. I tend to sit on the floor. I tend to be barefoot, it's just how I like to be. You can clearly, if you're sitting on the floor, maybe sit on a block, maybe roll up a blanket and sit up on a blanket, right? So that your pelvis is above your knees and you can make yourself a little more comfortable. If you're in a seat, just ground your feet so that you can be well grounded and or if you're sitting on the floor, you can rest upon allow your back to rest upon the wall so that you can feel supported and you don't have to worry too much about your physical, so that you can really focus on going in. Okay, so I'll give you a moment to do that. I'm sitting up on a block, so my pelvis is above my knees. I'm just gonna move a little bit, right? Find myself comfortable in my seat. Maybe start from the waist. Make small little circles in one direction. If you want to, you can follow me, right? And just breathe comfortably. Just come into this space. Come into your body. Come into this moment. Just make a few hip circles, rotations. And now let's go on to the other side. If you're with me, Let's just make some circles. Now, if sitting with crossed legs is uncomfortable for you, you can feel free to separate your legs wide, okay? Just go wide and just be comfortable. Like, we want to be comfortable. We have this idea that, you know, meditation, we're supposed to be in a certain physical form, you know, very what have you, but I want you to be comfortable, because if you're uncomfortable, you're not going to be able to connect with your breath. You're not going to be able to connect with spirit, and you're just going to be anxious, right? Your body's going to just bring forward all of these stress hormones because you're in an uncomfortable space. All right, so coming into stillness, let's raise our shoulders to our ears and then bring them down. Small shoulder rotations, shoulders toward the ears. Breathe comfortably, roll them back and down. Again, roll up and back and down as you breathe. 3 more times. Roll up and back and down. Roll up, back and down. I tend to lose count, so let's do one more. I hope that's right. Back and down. Rotate to the opposite side. So let's go forward, shoulders toward the ears, and roll them down. Bring the chest and heart forward. Again, up and around and down. Move your whole arm with it, okay? Roll up, forward, and down. Up, forward, and down. 2 more. Up, forward, and down. 1 more. Up, forward, down. Let's move up to the head. Release from the head a little bit. Take an inhalation. And exhale your right ear to your right shoulder. Try not to raise your shoulder. Feel a little release on the opposite side of your neck. Breathe comfortably right there. Maybe look down, see how that feels for you. I always like to move before I do breath work or meditation, just because to release, just to release the body a little bit. 1 more breath right here. Maybe look forward a little bit. And when you inhale, come to center. And I tend to close my eyes too, just to come into the body. Take an inhalation and then release. Opposite side, ear to the shoulder. Try not to raise your shoulders up. Just soften your shoulders away from your ears and allow your neck to just relax, lengthen, soften. As you breathe, maybe look down, see how that feels for you. Find the sweet spot. Breathe into it. Then on your next inhalation, come up to center and exhale. I'm going to look up on the inhalation. Ready? Inhale, lift up your chin. Maybe open your eyes if they're closed and look all the way up. Open up the throat chakra. Shoulders are soft. The heart is open. Hands are relaxed. Look all the way up. Exhale in that space. Allow the eyes to be exercised as well. Inhale. Exhale, bring the head down, chin to the chest. Release the neck from the back. Release the cervical spine. Soften the shoulders. Maybe even round the shoulders forward if you like coming into a cocoon. And then lift on the inhalation. Look all the way up once again. Soften the shoulders, open the heart, open the throat, look all the way up. Open the eyes. Exhale, bring it all in, even the shoulders roll forward. And inhale up. I'm gonna go up and down 1 more time. Look all the way up. Open the throat, heart. Exhale, round, chin to chest, round in, little cocoon. And then inhale to center, soften the shoulders. Exhale, ground yourself well into your seat. Ground your feet into the earth. Take a little sip of your water or your tea. And let's work on the first breathing exercise I'd like to share with you today. It's called the Kapalabhati breath. also known as the skull shining breath, right? This is a purifying breath. I come to learn that utilizing purifying breaths are helpful before other breathing exercises because it allows you to just prepare the mind, the body, right? So if you're doing this for the first time, take your hands over your belly. The way that this works is we take an inhalation through the nose, and then we exhale through the nose, and we make a strong exhalation so that the navel draws toward the spine, like watch, right? And we continue doing this so that the inhalation is passive. So we're not actively going like, it's not like that. It's more like take a full inhalation and then okay. I did it kind of fast at first, that's why I slowed it down a little bit. Basically, when you inhale, it's really passive. You're not intentionally doing it. So let's do that again, okay? Let's put the hands on the belly. Let's do it together. Inhale through the nose. Sharp exhale. Inhale and release. Just notice, what's going on in the body, what happened for you. So let's do that again. And let's go for 11 cycles. Ready? Hand on the belly. Take an inhalation through the nose. Sharp exhale through the nose, navel to spine. Inhale is passive. Inhale, release. Let's do 3 more cycles of 11, just back to back, right? So we'll do 11 cycles of the Kapalabhati breath. Then we'll inhale and do it again. Inhale and do it again, okay? Ready? Inhale through the nose. Again. Again. Inhale. Release. How did that work for you? How you feeling in your heart? In your respiratory system, in your belly? You should feel a little heat rising. And over practice, you create a little more clarity of mind, right? Clarity of breath. Okay, so that's a purification technique. I like to go longer. It's similar to the breath of fire. The difference is that with the breath of fire, the inhalation is very intentional and tends to be kind of equal in length, right, between the exhalation. So it's a full inhalation, full exhalation, intentional in both ways. Whereas the Kapalabhati breath is the inhalation is passive, and the focus is really on that. And you can speed it up too, right? So if you want to join me, I'm going to go a little bit faster this time. And again, for about 11 cycles. I'm going to inhale. So now I want to invite you to, since you explored a little bit with the purifying breath, I'd like to invite you to work on the rule of four breathing. So rule of four breathing basically allows us to really, just ground, come into that connection with spirit, right? Kind of prepares your mind and your body to relax, to be calm, to be responsive, to receive, right? So I've done this before for those that are with me and have been with me. We inhale through the nose, hold the breath, retain the breath a moment, exhale through the nose, retain the breath, right? And then you just continue that for several cycles. So what we will do is 7 cycles of the rule of four breathing. So the rule of four breathing, although it's similar in different practices, it's specific in my training through the Comedic Yoga Skills Method. All right, so we inhale through the nose. When we inhale through the nose, the belly expands like a balloon. Hold the breath a moment. Exhale through the nose, allow the navel to contract, the navel to move toward the spine, the belly contracts, diaphragm. Hold the breath, and then you continue. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Everything is done through the nose. All the emphasis is all up in here. Remember the belly breath. The babies breathe in through their belly, okay, through the diaphragm as opposed to the chest where it tends to be shallow. I also invite you to allow the tip of your tongue to touch either the hard palate, the roof of your mouth, or maybe the back of your front teeth, okay? So this kind of helps connect. Our systems are so diverse, but they're interconnected as well. So our energetic systems, our energetic body all connects, like, let's say from the front here, right? My upper lip, up through my head, down through my back, all the way down my body, circles right back up here. So our tongue allows that connection and that retention of energy, right? So I invite you, allow the tip of your tongue to touch the roof of your mouth or the back of your front teeth as we go through 7 cycles of the rule of four breathing. All right, so if you're with me, let's get it, okay? And then we could see how we feel after. Find yourself comfortable, ground your feet, allow some back support, allow your hands to be comfortable where they may, maybe upon your heart, maybe upon your belly, maybe upon your thighs or your knees, all right? And let's do this. Ready? Inhale through the nose. Allow the belly to expand. Hold. Exhale through the nose. Contract. Hold. That's 1. I'm not going to speak the other cycles. Ready? Inhale, just this one. Hold. Exhale through the nose. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Now continue with the rule of four breathing to complete 11 cycles. Moving on to 7 now. When you inhale, find yourself expanding. Think about the expanse of the universe as you expand your awareness, your consciousness, your spirit. your energy. As you exhale, ground into Mother Earth. Release into Mother Earth. Allow her to receive what you don't need and transform it. Expand. Retain that awareness. Ground in your firmness, in your stability, in your power. Three more. Expand, grow, connect, rise. Release, ground, be. One more. When you complete your 11th cycle, take a natural breath. Just breathe naturally, whatever that means to you, however that seems to you. Breathe naturally and just notice what's going on in your body temple. Notice what thoughts come up. Notice how your breath feels. Notice how your body feels. Don't be in a rush. Just be in presence in the now, the gift. And with your eyes closed, bring your hands toward your heart center. Palms together. And begin to rub your palms. Create some heat between your palms. And then place your palms over your eyes. Feel the transference of energy from your palms. See in the darkness. And take a moment to ask in the silence of your mind a clarifying question that you need guidance on or clarity on, without worrying about the answer to the question. Just ask. And slowly release your palms away from your eyes. And gently blink your eyes open. In essence, these allow us to reconnect with spirit, allow us to be in our divine temple, allow us to be still enough to listen, right? So you can practice these exercises. Thank you. Peaceful. Yes. You can practice these breathing exercises and then just be in your stillness for a few moments a day. It doesn't take much. This live was a bit long because we did some reading and whatnot and the explanation. But once you have the technique down, you can just do it one time. Give yourself, 10-15 minutes, and then just be there. Be there with, allow the answers to the questions you ask to come to you, right? That's why I suggested at the end, ask a question of clarity. Ask something that you need guidance on. And don't worry about the answer, because when you ask, you shall receive. So your answer may come from a space that is unexpected. It may come from someone unexpected. It may come at a time that's unexpected. It might be revealed in a way that is special to you, that you understand. But what we ask for, it will come, will manifest. So if we just don't worry too much about the answer, we know, we trust that clarity is there, right? And we have faith in knowing that what we ask for and what we intend manifests. And if we look for the answer intentionally without expecting, just saying, okay, well, I'm looking for so and so. I just got to share this real quick. So I'm reading this other book, and I'm moving slowly with it, but I mentioned it the other day. Pam Grout E Squared. It's 9 do-it-yourself energy experiments that prove your thoughts create your reality, right? Just gonna share this real quick before we go. And one of the experiments, I think it was experiment 2, I'm on experiment 3 right now. It was, let me remember what she named it, the Volkswagen Jetta principle. So basically you think something, right? And know that what you think creates on a very humble, very simple level. So the experiment was to think of a color of a car, right? And I thought of orange. Initially, the thought was, like a rust orange color, because I really like that. But I was just like orange. When I wrote down my little note, orange, right? And I was going to Newark, right? About 30 minutes from Newark. Got to drive on the Parkway in New Jersey for y'all global folk. And as I was driving, I started seeing red cars. Red. I was like, man, I should have said red, because all I'm seeing is red cars. And as soon as I said that, boom, an orange car. And I mean orange. Like orange. Okay? Who sees orange cars like orange cars, right? I was like, oh, okay. So let me stick to my orange, right? And as I kept driving, I saw so many orange cars on that way. I saw orange cars, orange pickup trucks, orange construction trucks, dump trucks, bulldozers and whatnot. They're usually like yellow. Orange steamrollers. And I know these because, I got boys and we got books and we read about excavators and whatnot. Orange, like I saw mad, like so many orange vehicles. So I just said that to say that what we think, what we intend, okay, so without worrying about the result, without worrying about the expectation, knowing what to look for is vital when we put forward an intention, right? When we know what we're looking for, I'm looking for orange cars. I'm not looking for red cars. I'm looking for orange cars. When we know what we look for, we know what we're looking for without worrying too much about it. Like I tried for a moment worrying about it, and universe was like, no, don't worry about it. It's coming. Okay, it's gonna be right. You attract it, because the mind is energetic. Your thoughts are energetic. My thoughts, your thoughts, our thoughts are energetic. What we think, we manifest. And that is the essence of things. So when we seek clarity, when we ask for clarity, we are intending that to come, and we attract it. We're going to bring it forward. So don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. But we do need to clean up the mess. The analogy from earlier in the reasoning, clean up the mess by allowing ourselves to come into a space of quiet, connect with the breath, connect with spirit, espíritu, right? Spirit. And y respira, and breathe. Respira. For those that were here from the beginning, let me hear you say it again. There's a bilingual function. Respira. Yes, so connect with breath to connect with spirit, so that we can be in in tune with our intentions and with creation and just with the vibration of the universe. All right, so breath is one, and there are different ways to get there. Today I shared two with you. And if you haven't tapped into the work of Queen Afua, please do, because she's amazing. You know, the sacred woman text is like a Bible to plenty women out there. And I dip and dab in it from time to time. So thank you all for joining me. Let me know how you're feeling me. If you want more meditation, more breathing, more reasoning, or movement, okay? Because like there's so much. Yes, respira. Thank you. Manifest, yes. Whoo, whoo. Thank you for those that are there and reasoning and sharing. I appreciate you very much. Thank you so much, sis. You was here from the beginning. I appreciate you. Thank you for this. It was right on time. Oh, I love to hear that. Right on time. Bless you. Yeah. Oh, yes. Right on time when I started to steer to a negative thought. Oh, man. I love you too. Thank you. Keep growing and keep glowing and growing. I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, for sticking with me, and for just allowing me to just do what I do, because I could ramble, and I'm glad it has purpose. I'm glad you're feeling it. I'm glad it serves you, because that's really what ultimately I want to do. You know what I mean? Share with you what's been shared with me. So thank you for the hearts. Love y'all. Move in strength and peace. Remember the Kapalabhati breath. Okay. Start with maybe 3 cycles, maybe 7 cycles, maybe 11. 3, 7, 11. Okay. And then the rule of 4 breathing, you can do that all day long. All right. You needed this. I'm so happy you needed it. I'm so happy it served you. Thank you all. I appreciate you. All right. So listen, let me tell you something. As you needed this, I needed it too. I did. So I thank you for being here with me. All right. Much love, much peace, and balance. All right. Peace and blessings.